prevails. So, of course, that's got problems too. But as it is now, the people have no voice. And the founding fathers always had more confidence in the people than they had in the elites or in organizations run by elites. So maybe our only recourse is to somehow just shove the established system out of the picture. Maybe we can use all this modern technology like was used in Egypt and Tunisia to get the people together out in the streets. I mean, at least they drove the figurehead out of power.
But here's the problem with that. Now the Pentagon admits they're building their own private networks so their revolutionaries can overthrow. Yeah. They're putting cybersecurity in place even though they haven't passed the law. Here's a headline out of CNET, U.S. building virtual internet as cyber attack tested. Right as they try to pass the Cybersecurity Act, all these cyber attacks happen. And they've been caught before staging events. They're clearly putting an authoritarian system in. They're clearly getting the private spy networks up. They're clearly FBI shutting down whole giant computer network, hosting companies to get it one website. I mean, really, we know the answer. They're trying to destabilize everything, knowing that they can pose then as the saviors in the crises and grab more and more power. But there is good news with the fights against the TSA gaining steam. Man, you know what? Just all Hades is breaking loose. I mean, I think it just comes down to that at the end of the day.
Yes, that's what it comes down to, and more Hades will break loose. The more people lose their homes, their jobs, the ability to function in the established society. As that spreads, the turmoil will grow. And I don't know if we can beat the police state to the punch or not. On the whole, these private hackers seem to be better at it than the state. So maybe there is a chance for some kind of fundamental revolution in the structure of government that gets rid of what's sitting there on the entire world in Washington.
Well, as you know, history shows that these people go insane, and we've had little debates. You're saying they're super incompetent, but yeah, there are plots and delusions of grandeur, and then I'm saying, no, they're more well-organized than you're saying, but more and more, I think they think they're organized. They think with their NSA tracking, they're able to predict mass movements and things. But at the end of the day, I think you're probably right in that they really don't know what they're doing, and at the end of the day are going to just release. They know we're in a depression. They know things are getting worse, and they think if they just tell us everything's great, it's going to make us believe it's better. And I think, in fact, I know the system is accelerating their loss of credibility, and then they think that an iron fist is going to back that up. I don't think it's going to work. I mean, I think they're going to fail in this global corporate crime syndicate's takeover, but they may destroy all of us in the process. That's
right. They may. I think they'll fail, too, because there's not enough of them. Too few people are benefiting from the takeover that they have in motion. It's less than 1% of the population. So you've got 99% of the people who are being screwed by their plans. So that can't work. Even force, I don't think, can alter numbers that are that heavily weighted against you.
Well, that's another thing. How can they all over the country be laying police off, stealing their pension funds, claiming it's welfare, that police and fire unions are getting money they put in. Now they want private pension funds. They're trying that in Europe. How do they expect the cops to enforce on us the same thing's happening now in Greece when they're going to be robbed as well? I mean, that doesn't...
That's right. And that's exactly it. And even, as we've talked before, Alex, even if they can get the police to cooperate with them, you have to remember the United States was never able to occupy Baghdad. And the only way we ever stopped the carnage that our troops were suffering was by hiring the insurgents ourselves and putting them on the American military payroll. So if they can't occupy Baghdad, they can't occupy the United States. And unless they put the entire population on their payroll, they've got more problems potentially than it's possible for them to deal with. So, I don't think that either party can produce any leadership, because the power of money and the power of the oligarchy is just too powerful, it's too strong. And if any real leader were to appear within one of the parties, he would either quickly be smeared and framed up, or they would assassinate him.
And the oligarchy, if it went slower with soft power, could have stayed in power and even grown their power. But instead, I think they're so hubris-filled that they're driving forward with delusions of global domination, and the only threat to oligarchy is themselves.
Right. That's right. It's just like Hitler. He marched off into Russia. If he hadn't, he'd still be there. So we're marching off everywhere, in Libya, and looks like Syria, perhaps, and they still have
Yemen. They're talking about Sudan now, Pakistan. We only got a few minutes left, 5 minutes after this break, but start getting into your excellent article that came out a few days ago, the redefining of conspiracy theory.
Yeah, conspiracy theory now is any fact or any explanation that's contrary to the governments and the medias. So it encompasses almost the whole realm of truth. Just about everything that's true is a conspiracy theory. If you talk about all the jobs lost to offshoring, that's a conspiracy theory. It's not just applied to 9/11. It's now any disagreement with the government and the official media. That is a conspiracy theory.
Let's break that down in the last 5 minutes of the show with Dr. Paul Craig Roberts. We'll also tell you about his new edition of his new book that's out, How the Economy Was Lost, The War of the Worlds. I'm Alex Jones. The websites are Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. And this is a fight between truth and lies, good and evil. And 2 + 2 = 4. If you can say that, we can have freedom.
If you suffer from poor sleep, you need MyPillow. Guaranteed to be the most comfortable pillow you will ever own. Using a patented fill, MyPillow adjusts to your exact individual needs by gently supporting your head, shoulders, and neck. MyPillow has a natural built-in cooling effect, keeping your cervical nerves cool, giving you the best sleep of your life. MyPillow will never go flat and relieves snoring, migraines, sleep apnea, fibromyalgia, and many other disorders. It's antimicrobial, non-allergenic, dust mite resistant, and best of all, machine washable and dryable. MyPillow is made in the USA, has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau, comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee and an industry-leading 10-year warranty. Order today at MyPillow.com or call 952-442-6199. That's 952-442-6199. Mention coupon code GCN and receive 20% off your order. What do you have to lose except poor sleep? MyPillow.com, the most comfortable pillow you will ever own, guaranteed.
You've heard Alex Jones talk about eFoods Direct and their highly nutritious long-term storable food. Believe me, it tastes great. Order any 3 of their qualified packs and you'll receive the 4th absolutely free. Let's say you order 3 of their 1-week responder kits. You'll get the 4th week free. That's a $75 savings on a 1-month supply. Are you kidding me? For the cost of 1 greasy fast food supersized combo lunch, you can eat 3 hearty, delicious meals. And this offer is good for any of their quick fix supplies. This offer ends on June 22nd. eFoods Direct is prepared for these troubled times and will ship your order within 48 hours. Call 800-409-5633. On the web, efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Your order deadline is June 22nd. To buy 3 and get 1 free. Call 800-409-5633. On the web, efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Get more food for your money at efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
If you're concerned about radiation poisoning from Japan in the air, water, or food and can't find potassium iodide, go to RestoreYourHealthNow.com and choose Liquid Zeolite. Liquid Zeolite is hands down the best product to remove radiation from your body and safely removes toxins, heavy metals, boosts energy levels, and promotes a strong immune system. For fatigue, muscle weakness, headaches, memory loss, influenza, joint pain, or toxic radiation poisoning, use Liquid Zeolite from RestoreYourHealthNow.com. Liquid Zeolite is so powerful it was used to clean up contamination in Chernobyl, yet so gentle you won't even know you're taking it. Liquid Zeolite comes with a money-back guarantee but is only available at RestoreYourHealthNow.com RestoreYourHealthNow.com. Learn how to get free bottles of liquid zeolite at RestoreYourHealthNow.com. That's RestoreYourHealthNow.com, or call 800-880-9976. Call 800-880-9976 today and learn how to get free bottles of liquid zeolite.
Cultures go crazy throughout history, more often than not. And cultures get crazy leadership in place that over time become more and more decadent, more and more sure of themselves. Everybody just bows down to them, rolls red carpets out, pulls their chairs out, tells them they've got the answers. And they're fiddling while Rome burns, and they've got their CNN hosts saying, get rid of the Bill of Rights and Constitution. They've got their people running around throwing it in our face. But really, I believe they're making themselves passé or discredited by saying everything's a conspiracy theory. I mean, I hear it now where they actually have Obama and people saying, I say if something's a war or not, and I say it isn't. And it reminds me of Karl Rove 6 years ago telling the New York Times, he said, I control reality. I say what it is, and then you agree. Is that understood? I mean, these people are lunatics. But finishing up with that, article, though, about the new definition of a conspiracy theory is anything not in their false reality.
That's right. Any truth. For example, you're attacked for being a conspiracy theorist because you reveal truths. Russia Today, the TV station, RT, they've been attacked by the New York Times for reporting news and opinions that the New York Times doesn't approve of. The New York Times doesn't report, and therefore they're a conspiracy theory. I told you about my experience with the Huffington Post. After they interviewed me on the war, they then found out that I had actually reported on some of the findings of 9/11 skeptics, scientists. And so they quickly made it an adjustment to their interview with me, and they said, well, you don't have to listen to him because he's a conspiracy theorist. So if you just report facts, even without endorsing them, you're now a conspiracy theorist. So I think it's becoming a badge of honor to be called a conspiracy theorist because it means you tell the truth.
Well, that's it. I mean, I remember being called a conspiracy theorist for saying Bush was lying about WMDs.
Right.
And then the fact that they've been caught lying so much, really questioning them is a conspiracy theory. Having reason, not believing people that have a history of congenital lying, that is not just conspiracy theory, it's extremism, Dr. Roberts.
Oh, yes, of course. I mean, look, see, now they're all over Syria, accusing Assad of being a butcher and all of this. But who's the real butcher? It's Washington, isn't it? John Pilger's film, The War You Don't See, he shows that in the current wars that we are waging, 90% of the casualties are civilians. So for every so-called insurgent or enemy we kill 9 civilians. Well, we've murdered more people than if you took all the deaths of Assad and Saddam Hussein and Gaddafi and you multiply them by 1 million, you wouldn't reach the amounts of people the United States government's killed in the last 10 years. And yet we get on this high horse about how evil Assad is. Well, he's nothing compared to to Bush or Cheney or Obama or Hillary or any of them. They're all massive war criminals.
But wait, he has a peace prize, though.
Isn't that absurd? I mean, that's got to discredit that prize for all time. I think if they were to give it to me, I'd just say, no, you keep it. It's well, you can.
It's an albatross.
The reason they did it was to try to reinforce what they thought was his inclination to wind the wars down. But they didn't understand that he would be a puppet of the same oligarchy that every other president is a puppet.
Well, Doctor, how dare you question anything? When you're walking down steps at night, you shouldn't even look below you. That's being a conspiracy theorist. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to talking to you again soon. I'm Alex Jones. Retransmission starts now. See you back live tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central.
Thank you for listening to GCN.